What's My Line? Brought to you by Bravo Floor Wax. For a shine so tough, you can wash it with detergents and it comes up shining. Bravo! And now, let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the young lady who is currently specializing in daytime theater as the matinee star of the Broadway hit The Apple Tree, Miss Phyllis Newman.
Thank you. It's my great pleasure tonight to introduce a gentleman who, as starting Monday, will be the substitute host on To Tell the Truth for Bud Collyer, Mr. Robert Q. Lewis.
Thank you, Phyllis. What do you say about this next pretty girl, except that she's beautiful, she's talented, she's lovely, and I love her as much as you do? Arlene Francis.
Thank you. And now, the king of the chopstick group. Just back from Japan, Hong Kong, Thailand, Bangkok. Happily, he's back with us. Very happily indeed. Bennett, Cerf.
It was a very wonderful trip, and in Thailand last week, there was a native character there named Warburg Deutsch, and when I said to him, those fish in the floating market look like John Daly, he said, it's time you got home. And here is the man that I thought of every day I was away, John Charles Daly.
I don't know. What do you do with a man like that? He compares me to a poor fish 1 minute and then says he thought of me every day while he was away. I'll warm the cockles of your heart, Bennett. I went out to Little Rock, Arkansas on Tuesday for the National Conference of Christians and Jews Awards dinner for Governor Winthrop Rockefeller and his good bride. And you got more friends in Little Rock than you have in Bangkok. But they all asked me to welcome you home, so I will welcome you home for them and for all of us in the theater and tell you how good it is to have you back. And Phyllis and Bob, it's good to see you on the panel again, and Arlene, because we have some very interesting occupations, which I think we'll have some fun with in the next 30 minutes.
Before we start, you notice Phyllis is wearing pants tonight?
Did you,
They're pajamas.
They're pajamas.
I want to quickly say they're pajamas.
Oh.
She won them in a raffle.
Is that a comment on what Phyllis expects for the next 30 minutes? She comes in pajamas? Well, anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a mystery challenger a bit later, but let's meet our first contestant. Will you sign in after you have entered, please? Tammy Thorn. Right, ma'am? All right. Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
Mrs. Thorn.
Right.
And where are you from?
Pendleton, Oregon.
Pendleton, Oregon.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. That's where they have the great roundup.
Right.
Right. Good. Mrs. Thorn, may I present the panel? Now, will you join me over here, please, ma'am? And we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mrs. Thorn is self-employed and deals in a service. And since you've been loafing for the better part of 6 weeks, Mr. Cerf, we'll start with you.
Mrs. Thorn, just to clear up quickly one situation, may we assume you have nothing whatever to do with that roundup at Pendleton?
No.
Yes,
Yes
you may
or no?
assume no. Yes, you may assume
And you have
no.
nothing to do with horses or livestock?
No.
The service you perform then is for human beings?
Yes.
Is it for human beings, both the male and the female sex,
Yes.
in equal parts?
That cost you dear.
Oh,
In equal parts makes it 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Newman.
Now, Mrs. Thorne, the audience laughed when they saw what you did. Am I correct in assuming that usually beautiful young women don't do what you do? Yes?
Yes.
Now, is this a service that I might use?
Yes.
And if I use this service, would it benefit me in some way?
Yes.
Would I come to you to avail myself of the service?
Yes.
Would you be wearing something other than what you have on tonight or other than a street dress when you deal with this service?
Yes.
Is it something that could be called a uniform or costume?
Well, we would agree that it is a uniform or costume, yes.
I see. Now, would you touch me in any way? During the service or before or after the service?
With your permission, I would say it is possible that as a part of the service, in a matter of giving you the full benefit of what is there to be had, that there might be some touching. We do not suggest this is critical.
They laughed. Let's get back to what you wear. Is it more of a uniform as contrasted to a costume? Oh, no. Don't say it. Don't say it.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Bob Lewis.
Tammy, tell me true. Is what you wear, in a sense, protective?
No.
In any sense?
You got it true. Right? True blue. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Frances.
Miss Thorne, would you be considered a performer in any sense of the word?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
But, Mrs. Thorne, though you're not a performer, you wear some kind of a costume, correct?
Well, we do use costume or uniform, and you've now gotten it down to the issue of costume as other than normal streetwear.
Now, I notice everybody let absolutely lie the fact that you do not perform your service equally for both sexes. We haven't determined which sex you prefer or which you deal most with. Is it the female sex that you deal with mostly?
Very good question. That
Oh,
makes it
2
5
wrong.
down and 5 to go, Miss Newman.
When you're...
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I did Bennett a disservice. Go ahead.
Oh.
You're right.
You mean it is the female sex that she
Yeah.
deals with?
Well, what we're telling you is both sexes are involved, but there are more often women involved than men. Is that right, man?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, do you touch these people in any way? I know it's not part of the service. You do not touch them in any way while you're performing the service. Is there any food or drink mixed up in the service you perform?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Newman.
Do other people perform this service as well as you?
You mean around the country?
Yes, I mean, there are other people who do what you do.
Oh, yes.
So it's not an uncommon thing that you do.
No.
No, and now, if I came to you and availed myself of the service, would I pay for it ahead of time?
Depending on what your credit rating is.
Do you use anything in performing this service? Any machine or any kind of apparatus?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And would I mostly watch what you do with this machine?
You mean if you went to get the
Yes.
service, would you watch mostly? That makes it 6 down and 4 to go.
She wouldn't touch
You can watch. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Lewis.
I guess there's special training, Mrs. Thorne, for almost anything you can do, but would you require more than average special training? Would you, let me ask you this, would you require any permission by an authority to do what you do? In other words, a municipal government, perhaps, or...
I mean, is it a licensed activity? Is that what your question
No,
is?
that's... Yeah, I suppose that is the question. I hate it.
A permit or a license
Yes.
of some kind? I have to find out myself, Bob. Will you all excuse me for a minute?
No.
Sorry, old boy. 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Frances.
When people require your service, is it indoors that it is accomplished?
Yes.
Could you accomplish it in this service?
You could do it in the home, but in all fairness,
rather do it
we've
outside.
already elicited they come to Mrs. Thorne. Therefore, in this instance, they would not.
If it were possible to deduce what apparatus you use in your service, would we be close to what you do? Would that help us?
I think so. Mhm.
Is the apparatus that you use made of metal?
Yes.
Is it applied to anything?
No, it's not
Just
applied
all
to
by
anything.
itself?
It's just there. 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Thorn, can people climb into the apparatus that you use?
No, 9 down and 1 to go, Phyllis.
Is it anything in the family of a computer or machine of that kind, for information machine?
To get information from it.
Yes.
Would you like some information from us now?
No.
10 down and no more to go. Now, this was a very tough one. Actually, Mrs. Thorn teaches weightlifting. Needless to say, this is all involved with reducing and bodybuilding, and you, with your husband, own Thorn's Health Spa in Pendleton. And I think you ought to know that Mrs. Thorn can deadlift 170 pounds.
Mrs. Thorn, could you lift John Daly?
170 pounds. Right on the button, Bennett. Very good.
Would you give us a demonstration?
No, she will not give you that. And Mrs. Thorn can do 30 squats with 150 pounds. Would you give us a demonstration? Bennett weighs 150 pounds. That's getting us even. But mostly you gave us some fun with the panel tonight, and thank you very much. It was nice to have you with us, ma'am. Good night. We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this word. Now, to meet our next contestant, will you enter and sign in, please? Howard. Kennedy, right, sir? All right. Mr. Kennedy, where are you from?
Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Florida? What? I didn't get the name of town.
Fernandina Beach.
Fernandina. Is that near Miami or?
No, it's northeast, or near Jacksonville.
Near Jacksonville. Fine. May I present the panel? Mr. Kennedy?
Hello?
Now, will you join me over here, sir? We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. Now, with Mr. Kennedy's permission, and I'm sure he won't mind, while he is from Florida, we are perfectly willing to admit that he is employed in the general New York area. So we'll give you that much help and tell you that he is salaried and deals in a product, and we'll begin with Phyllis Newman.
Thank you. Is this product something that I might use?
Yes.
Is this product something that is smaller than this?
I suppose.
Smaller than that. Is this a product that I could use in my home?
Yes.
If I used it in my home, would I likely have it near the kitchen or on the first floor of a 2-story house?
No.
No, I wouldn't think
Definitely
so.
not on the first floor.
I would think not. We'll put
All
it
right.
that way. This might, and of course there are so many houses that have only one floor that it gets sticky, you know, but still.
I should get a
The
maybe
kitchen
then.
is a point of reference here,
Right,
so we'll
okay.
give you a no. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Miss Kennedy, I'm a little bugged because I just know these people on this show. I just want to clear up one thing. You do not sell or have anything to do with barbells.
No.
Okay. This is something then that might be found in the average home on the second floor. Would it be most likely to be found in the bedroom area?
Yes.
Would it be something that would have to do perhaps with cosmetics of in any sense?
Yes.
Would a man not apply the product you make or represent?
No.
Be more liable for a woman. Would this product then be applied to the actual person?
Yes.
Would it be applied in an area above the neck?
Yes.
It would? Where the heck is all? No. Is this then a device to make a lovely lady even lovelier?
Yes.
It is. Would it, all right, let's go. The root, is it then, does it come in a shape of would it be in a tube shape?
No.
No. 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it applied to some particular part of the face?
Can be.
Yes, it can.
Could it be applied, therefore, to any part of the head?
No.
Well, I would, with your permission, I would say this. The normal circumstance would find a generally particular locality, but there is nothing to stop one putting it where one would, right?
Is it something other than a cream or a pack?
Yes.
Is it solid rather than liquid?
No. That makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Kennedy, is this liquid applied externally? I presume it is it
Yes.
not? Does it change the appearance of the person after it's been applied?
No. 4
does
down
not
and 6
change
to go.
the
Doesn't change the appearance, no.
It's a liquid something that you put to your face. And it's obviously not anything as mundane as makeup, otherwise they wouldn't have laughed, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it derived from some exotic animal or fruit or bug or something?
I don't think we can say this is derived from any exotic fruit or
Animal, bug,
or animal.
people.
Now, before
Flying
everybody gets
saucers.
bugged, let's make it a no. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Lewis.
I'm just curious. Can I rule out perfume?
No, you cannot.
But perfume comes from exotic animals or flowers or bugs.
Not from
No, it didn't
What
say
kind do you
flowers.
use?
Didn't say flowers.
Therefore, it has some flower essence, does it, Mr. Kennedy?
Perfume? Yes, it does.
No, actually, Arlene, what we really want you to do is to try to guess exactly what it is that Mr. Kennedy has to do with perfume.
He puts it behind his ears.
He opens the bottle and pours it on the top of his head. No, I'm going to put all the cards over because you
He
did
doesn't
very well
test
to
it?
get this. He's a tester,
Oh, he's
right?
a
He's a
tester.
sniffer. Mr. Kennedy sniffs it. He works in the area of what they call quality control and odor control. And you're just actually beginning.
Yes, only
He's
2
beginning
years.
what is in effect an apprenticeship in which he hopes ultimately to create his own
Top sniffer.
create perfumes and become the top sniffer. Right. He's with the Revlon company in their research department, and I hope someday that you achieve your ambition and become a creator of perfumes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy. Nice to have you with us. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which, as everybody knows, the panel has to be blindfolded. Are the blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right. As you know, panel, different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise. And we will begin things with Arlene Francis.
Would one find your name in the entertainment pages of the newspaper?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Cerf.
Would it be in the world of motion pictures or the theater that you shine most distinctly?
Mm-mm.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Newman.
No, not
No?
motion pictures.
No.
Is there more than one of you here?
Mm-mm.
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Well, then, are you a prominent figure in this? From that acclaim, it sounded like President Johnson walked in. Are you in the sports world?
Mm-mm.
3 down
No.
and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Has it been decided you're not in the entertainment world and you're not in the sports world? Oh,
Not the movies.
Just not movies, I
just
guess.
not movies
And theater.
and theater. Are you a television personality?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Cerf.
Do you have a regular show that uses your name in the title of the show?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Newman.
Do you sing?
Mm-mm.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Oh, boy. This is a regular television show. Now, well, we can clear this up. Does your show emanate from New York? No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
It doesn't emanate
No.
from New York. Well, do you have what is loosely called a talk show as opposed to a variety show?
That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Is there a lot of music connected with your show? There is there not?
There is.
Could I take a stab at this? Does your show ever begin with a 1, a 2, a 3?
That's very good. We were a little bit afraid some of you were reading the papers. I'm sure most of you know, or a lot of you know, that there are 2 distinctions which Mr. Welk is very, very pleased with these days. One, this past week, he received the Horatio Alger Award. And that speaks, just using the name speaks volumes, because the Horatio... Well, I guess to the youngsters today, I don't know whether they read Horatio... Bennett, you're the publisher. Do they read Horatio Alger today as well as we used to?
Yeah, they think it's pretty silly, but they read it.
But the Horatio Alger Award is a wonderful thing to win, because what it says in substance is that starting from nothing, you made a real mark upon life and also a very successful career. And congratulations, Larry.
Thank you very much.
A fine award, and we're pleased for you. And he's also the national chairman of the American Cancer Society Crusade.
Well, I'm going to be in 1968.
In 68, but that was found out this
We
week.
came in for a meeting.
Came in for a meeting this
Right.
week? Good. Well, this is also a kind of old home week. All of us here, Phyllis, even you were getting to be a veteran of television now. And you started with your Lawrence Welk show on ABC in what, 1950?
In 55.
55.
We
So
started as a summer replacement show, and good fortune has been with us.
well, that sounds like the history of What's My Line, doesn't it?
Yes.
But that's, what, 12 years?
12 years, going into our 13th year.
Yeah.
May I just tell you how much enjoyment we received out of your show. It's been many relaxing hours.
Well, thanks very much. And it's good of you to give us a bit of a Sunday night, particularly since you have to work on Saturday nights. It's good.
And my wife wouldn't miss your show for anything in the world.
Thank you very much. You tell her to keep listening so we can stay on the air.
Well, panel, I think in balance, you worked hard and you did pretty well, and we'll give you some congratulations. And again, Miss Phyllis and Bob, good to have had you with us. And
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
You'll be back with us again soon, and good night, Phyllis.
Thank you. Good night. Good night, Bob.
Good night, my darling. Good night, my darling.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank
Good
you.
night, dear.
So glad to be back.
Stay with us. Don't go away again.
I promise. Good night, John.
Good night. You know, we're getting emotional about his coming back. Now imagine that. All those years that we wanted to chase him away to Timbuktu. He went away for 5 weeks. It's wonderful to have you home, Bennett. Stay here for a while. And speaking for all 5 of us, thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Cotton. With Francis Gownes from Bonwit Teller, this is Johnny Olson speaking. What's My Line was brought to you by the people in your town who bottle Coca-Cola. Things go better with Coke.